I made a repair to my RPM meter. Actually a replacement and a modification. Now I don't have the 12-volt battery that I used to use to power the RPM meter. It's got a 36-volt adapter on it, so I can go all the way up to 36 volts without having to worry about the battery configuration. I'll turn it on. I still do have to be careful not running this without having power applied to that or the battery connected to the generator, so this doesn't jump up all the way up to 120 volts, which neither one can handle. Actually, the bottom one has survived it a couple of times because I messed up the RPM meter, as we saw before. It didn't. It burnt it up as soon as I went up, all the way up to about 50 volts. That's what cooked it. This one right here is the 28 spoon Pelton with a fixed jet. I'm all the way up to 410 thousandths. That's giving me about 43 or 44 psi, which is not, it's close to what we should have, but it's not what we always found, that the 42 psi is the best that we can with all the systems. Another thing I noticed with this one more than the others is that the higher the voltage on the battery, or the more it is charged, the more power it puts out. So we'll see how the battery voltage right now is at 1317 and our power is 147. There's a lot of weight here, and that, even though this is stainless steel, it still tweaks the jet over slightly. It looks like that's about it right there. Voltage at charge point and voltage at battery. There's a little voltage loss across the wires from here down to the hydro pit. Been running it for about 15 minutes now. Pressure obviously is not going to change, it's going to be the same. I have two other wheels to test out. They're both 28s, but this one's a little smaller by a 1/4 inch, and this one's a little bigger by a 1/4 inch. They all three of them, the one in here has got 28. The effective diameter on this one is 1075. On this larger one is 1175, and the one in here is 1125 or 11 1/4, and we're talking inches here. I have the 1175 installed, and I'm running the fixed 410 thousandths jet. By pulling on it, I'm able to get a little bit more out of it. I'm pushing it over that which brings it closer to the wheel. I'm just changing the angle of it. I'm going to try it at 24 volts before I switch over to the smaller runner to see what it does. dragging it all, we got 254 about at 24 volts. I need to bring this out a little more, see how much power we lose by pulling it away from the runner. And that'll be a test for another day, because I really have no way to control it from there. I got to modify that mount there. So I'm going to put the smaller one, and we'll try the same two tests with the smaller wheel. This is the 10.75 inch Pelton runner at 24 volts. We can't get close enough to the wheel as we were to the others. I'm going to need a different case for that, but I should be able to get pretty close. Even though the way in is not hitting it, but I left it loose so I can dance with it and actually angle it in if I have to see if it gives me more power. This one's doing a little better at 24 volts, 256 right there, but I'm not quite at the right place and I can't leave it. Yeah, I'm flooding my place here because this house is not well designed. We're losing a lot of water on the ground. But this one is doing a little better. So we went a little smaller. I'm going to try it at 12 volts and see how it compares to the other one. But at 24 volts, it looks like a smaller wheel seems to do a little better. All right, back at 12 volts, same runner. This is the 1075 with the 410 thousandths nozzle. This the hydro swamp. With all this flooding here, it's no longer the hydro pit. Let's see if we don't get all wet here. Like 163 is the best I can get out of it. Yeah, about 163. Okay, 163. We'll call that one 1075 diameter Pelton. And here from the hydro swamp. I'm gonna test the jet pattern. Let's see what it looks like at the running PSI or pressure. Okay, we can't do that. I'll just go this way. 42. Whoa, that's rough. Okay, got a little pressure on that, a little pushback. Fix Nozzle. Let's see if we don't get sprayed here everywhere. Okay, full power now. About 50 psi or so. All right, 50 psi. So that means this need a bigger jet for a single jet. Now I'm going to swap over to a smaller one, which is going to make it even worse. So that's a 380. This one's 287. We'll see. Let it leak, so it'll be all right. Now let's get wet here. Running about 60 psi. Getting on the wrong side here. All right, 60 psi with this one. Now we got to try 247 thousandths. Let's open it up. Got a nice flow to it. Working out the air out of the line. The air trapped in there. I'm going to get full power. So we have about 63 psi. All right, so we're done with the air almost. We're about 64 psi. Okay. All right, I think we need a jig to be able to do this. This is rough. It looks pretty good though. The pattern coming out of that looks pretty good. 410 thousandths jet. I'm gonna find the right place to put the jet. Whoa! That's 43.5 psi. 394 thousandths. 45 psi. It only drops down a little bit. That's 45 psi. And 394 thousandths. And the difference between the two is very little. 370 thousandths. Okay, let's take another shower. Woo! Oh, that was good. That was fun. That's 48. 48 psi. I think that'll be enough. I had enough. Hi. Where are you going? No, don't take off. Don't run.